Okay, you ready to go? This is the place.
Кто это?
Мы прият правильный, Франсуа.
Вы американцы?
Нет, мы канадцы.
О, хорошо, ходите.
Добро пожаловать, господа. Меня зовут Борис. Это Наташа.
Меня зовут Рокки. Это Булвинкл.
Что я могу сделать для вас? Раньше я видел что-то подобное.
У тебя есть?
Конечно, я контролирую все. Это другое. Самое необычное.
You find yourself stranded on a hostile alien planet. Oh no! What do you do? Well, let's find out, shall we? Let's just begin by saying I used the original versions of the show released on DVD to make these reviews. Okay, original-ish, as even the DVD release had some tinkering done to them, but these were minor. I also said in my introduction to the review series that I wouldn't focus on some of the admittedly dated production elements of the show. That being said, apart from some exceptions, the special effects in Galileo 7 are perhaps the worst of the entire original series, although some of the remastered effects are pretty janky too. While on their way to deliver medical supplies to a plague-ridden planet, the Enterprise stops to investigate a quasar. One must perhaps forgive 1960s television writers for not knowing quasars are very distant objects, not seen free-floating around the galaxy. But at the time, these were new and exciting discoveries, so some leeway must be given. Overseeing the supplies delivery is Galactic High Commissioner Ferris. There is still no Federation in the series as yet. Still, he is the prototype in Star Trek of any representative of higher-ups that visit the ship being a total dick. He is played by John Crawford. Crawford appeared in many movies and television shows, mainly in the 1950s into the 70s. He is best well known as Sheriff Bridges on The Waltons, and a blink-and-you'd-miss-it part in 1963's Jason and the Argonauts. He is also quoted in saying he found Shatner difficult to work with. Well, knock me over with a feather. So Kirk sends out Spock, McCoy, Scotty, and a handful of extras to investigate the quasar. They depart in the newly introduced shuttlecraft, the Galileo of the title. As it is new, as well as the shuttle bay, we are given lengthy shots of its departure. Anytime we see a shuttlecraft from now on in the series, it will use footage from this episode. The plot is influenced by a previously told story of a group of travelers stranded in a jungle setting. No, not that one. The 1939 movie Five Came Back told the story of plane crash survivors in the Amazonian jungle, which featured Lucille Ball, later of Desilu fame. The movie was later remade in 1956 as Back from Eternity. There are also references to Destination Moon of 1950. Leonard Nimoy later stated that this episode was written in response to the growing popularity of the Spock character. But as it was written only a couple of weeks after the first episode aired, I find this timeline difficult to reconcile. Then again, Spock did get around. Well, Spock is indeed highlighted as he and his merry band of explorers crash land on an alien planet due to that nasty quasar. The extras consist of Lieutenant Latimer and Gaetano, played by Lee Vaughn and Peter Marco, neither of whom had lengthy acting careers. More notable is Lieutenant Boma, played by Don Marshall. He would go on to star in Land of the Giants and crown his career with his appearance in The Thing with Two Heads in 1972. But perhaps the real star of this episode is Yeoman Mayers, played by Phyllis Douglas, who had had an uncredited role in Gone with the Wind. Oh look, a pony! Strange for an episode reportedly made to benefit from Spock's growing popularity to paint him in such an unfavorable light. Sending Latimer and Gaetano to scout out the area, it ends well, unfortunately for Latimer. Using a particularly bad special effect, Latimer's skewed body is hidden to placate the censors. A further complication arises when it is discovered they don't have enough fuel to take off again, unless they shed 500 pounds, or 3 people, a plot element perhaps borrowed from Destination Moon that I mentioned earlier. Dissension begins to arise in the ranks, mainly led by Boma, with some snide remarks from McCoy as well. The humans, except for Scotty it seems, are having a hard time adjusting to a logic-driven commander. For me, Spock's biggest blunder comes later. After finding they are being attacked by giant apes with spears, he, Boma, and Gaetano fire over their heads in an attempt to scare them off. Okay, maybe that'll work. It doesn't. But the mistake comes when Spock has Boma come back with him to the ship, leaving poor Gaetano to stand guard alone. Are you kidding me? You just lost a man and now you're leaving another alone by himself? Well, it might be okay. No, it isn't. The episode's message seems to be that Spock's pacifist command style just doesn't work. This is a newer addition to the Spock character, as in the Man Trap, he was more than willing to kill the salt creature when necessary. Now they do give him an out somewhat, as human landing parties from the Enterprise sent out to search the planet also get their ass kicked and suffer casualties. But the human way is the best way theme is driven home at the end when, having managed to get into a very brief orbit, Spock ignites the remaining fuel to send out a kind of distress signal in what is called a very human act of desperation, which, lo and behold, works. Yay! It's all smiles and giggles as the episode ends, out of place after all the death and destruction, but the main cast is intact, so let's laugh it up. Not a shining light of the first season to be sure. I suppose it has its place by adding some development to the Spock character, albeit somewhat negative. He'll do better in the future. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Rise and shine, Bullwinkle. We're here. Okay, that didn't go as expected.
Je pensais que vous, messieurs, pourriez avoir besoin d'aide.